Swiss Army Man is a strange, unique, and beautiful film that, despite its juvenile exterior, explores a lot of compelling and thought-provoking themes. Among these themes explored are societal expectations, self-identification, homosexuality, and transgender identity. But in this video, I'm going to discuss why Swiss Army Man should be considered in a category entitled Cinema of the Absurd. First, what is cinema of the absurd? Although there is no formal consensus or school of thought encompassing the cinema of the absurd, one can easily extrapolate a definition from the genre theater of the absurd. The theater of the absurd was a genre of absurdist fiction, itself a genre of fiction dealing with the philosophical theories of Albert Camus. Camus was a 20th century French philosopher who questioned the meaning of human existence, and concluded that this meaning might not exist, and if it did, it was impossible to ascertain by human reasoning. Camus considered the struggle of man attempting to understand this meaning and never being able to absurdity, and concluded that true happiness came from embracing this absurdity. This theme of absurdity was explored on the stage in various popular works in the mid-20th century, from Beckett's Waiting for Godot to Ionesco's The Bald Soprano.
Pièce qui commence par une comédie et qui finit par un drame. Elle commence par une comédie, elle se continue dans une atmosphère dramatique, et elle se termine, selon moi, du moins, dans l'atmosphère de la tragédie.
Drama critic Martin Esslin would coin the term theater of the absurd in a 1960 essay. In it, and in future essays, he would describe theater of the absurd as dreamlike and unconventional, with plays often breaking narrative conventions, characters being unrealistic, and lengthy back-and-forth dialogue that often meant nothing at all.
It's about nothing.
Thus, cinema of the absurd would be a continuation of that definition, a genre of film dealing with the philosophies outlined by Camus, utilizing unconventional narrative techniques unique to film in order to tell dreamlike and poetic stories about nothing.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Having discussed cinema of the absurd, what is Swiss Army Man? Released in 2016 and directed by directing duo The Daniels, Swiss Army Man depicts the adventures of castaway Hank and reanimated corpse Manny, utilizing Manny's fantastical powers in an effort to get home. Some of these powers can be considered juvenile. Manny's farts are used several times as jet propulsion or to ignite fires. His erection serves the pair as a compass.
Manny, I think your penis is guiding us home.
The film also spends a good amount of time touching on some taboo topics like masturbation.
So now, when you masturbate, you think about your mom.
The filmmakers are well known for their strange, unique, and often off-putting filmography. They've worked previously with several bands on music videos such as Joy Wave, Little John, and Tenacious D, to name a few. They also have a short film entitled Interesting Ball, which one can see as a companion piece to Swiss Army Man. In it, strange, impossible things happen for seemingly no reason. A housewife has an affair with a sentient kickball.
That mom fucked my wife!
A group of frat boys form a giant robot. After a prank call, someone's refrigerator literally runs. Viewed as a whole, the preceding filmography sets us up for the odd, weird, and strange occurrences in Swiss Army Man.
Oh, I know that she has made...
The film begins with Hank lost on a deserted island about to hang himself. Right then, a body washes ashore and Hank goes to it. Hank tries to revive it, but when he realizes he's a corpse, he begins to monologue.
I'd always hoped that right before I died, my life would flash before my eyes, and I would see wonderful things.
The corpse's farts interrupt him and spoil the moment. However, Hank quickly realizes that the corpse's flatulence is propelling him somehow, and he rides the corpse like a jet ski. Having landed themselves on shore in the woods, Hank drags the corpse around with him. He sees that the corpse has reanimated himself and names him Manny, and begins teaching him about life. From this scene onward, the film's protagonists are foils for each other. Hank is alive but hopeless, while Manny is dead but hopeful. This contrast is important. Camus argued that it was necessary to give up hope in order to live an existence without meaning, but also argued that an existence without hope need not be unfulfilling. Now the question is, what makes Swiss Army Man cinema of the absurd? The filmmakers utilize unconventional techniques to tell the story. Besides the more obvious narrative conventions being thrown out the window, logic and reality for example, as the rules of Manny's powers are never explained or sourced, editing techniques and spatial manipulation are used throughout the film. A cappella music makes up a majority of the score, and diegetic and non-diegetic music often bleeds into each other. A character might say something or begin humming or singing, and suddenly their vocalizations strike up into a chorus, like in this first scene here. Or in this scene.
Manny, help me get home.
The score,
So what are you listening to?
It's a song I wrote for you.
editing techniques,
Talking about life. What is life?
montages, and slow motion clips give the movie a dreamlike quality, similar to how Estlin described works like Ionesco's Amédée. In addition to this, the film offers several red herrings that suggest the film itself is a dream.
I've tried. But there was always something there, some thought. It was beautiful enough to keep me going. Maybe that's just something the brain invents to survive.
Yeah, like maybe your brain invented me to distract you from the fact that eventually your eyes are gonna stop blinking, and your mouth will stop chewing, and your blood will stop pumping.
Having discussed much of the film, we reach the finale. In the third act break, right before the characters take the literal road back home, Manny questions the reality of the situation the characters are in, and comes to an interesting conclusion about the meaning of life.
We're gonna die. That's a thought.
Everybody dies.
Chewing, and your blood will stop pumping, and then you're gonna shit yourself. And that's it.
No, that's not it. Because then my organs are going to shit themselves.
And then your cells will shit themselves, and then all your shit's gonna get mixed in with everyone else's shit till there's nothing left of you.
Manny has completely changed from his initially hopeful demeanor. Hank has changed too. He says that even after they die, they'll have something to look forward to.
And then that's it.
That sounds kind of nice. Everyone's shit mixing. Because then someday some of your shit is gonna meet up with some of my shit. And we'll have something to look forward to, you know?
You're disgusting.
The characters recognize that life is meaningless but are liberated by this fact and see hope in it. To me, the end of the film is the most interesting part of the movie. Hank and Manny get back to civilization, but ironically, this is where it all goes to hell. Manny appears to have been dead all along, and Hank appears to simply have been crazy.
He saved my life with his amazing body. And he has these powers, and they're the only reason that I'm standing here today. And I will not let them take him away.
The filmmakers play it up right up until this point, when Manny reanimates himself in front of a crowd of people. This objective shot from the camera confirms that Manny is in fact alive, and suggests the rest of the film's events were too. I think this is the most important part of the analysis, because it suggests that the film's events were meaningless. Not in a subtext sort of way, but meaningless in a way that Hank was not imagining anything or pouring his psychosis into a dream. It simply happened. This ties in perfectly with the thesis of Interesting Ball, which we looked at earlier.
With the universe stuff, okay?
If the universe is as infinite as they say it is, then these weird things that are happening aren't just possible, they are inevitable. People see weird things happen every day, and we're all left to wonder.
What the hell are you saying?
About the significance of these anomalies.
I think this quote sums up Swiss Army Man in its entirety. It's a journey without meaning that simply happens because it can. The characters go through an emotional arc that leads them to the realization that a lot of people have difficulty coming to terms with, that there is no meaning to our lives, none that we could ever understand. But in the end, they come out stronger and liberated. Martin Esslin wrote of the theater of the absurd that the theater of the absurd is a challenge to accept the human condition as it is, in all its mystery and absurdity, and to bear it with dignity, nobly, responsibly. Because ultimately man is alone in a meaningless world. That is why, in the last resort, the theory of the absurd does not provoke tears of despair, but the laughter of liberation.
Nothing but interest. I think I lost it forever ago. Is there any way to get out of here? Out there, further than distance, there is an instant searching for home. I'll try to believe it. I'll try to conceive it by using your bone. There's gotta be a way to get out of here. Breathless, how are you breathless? Tired but restless and lacking of toil.